Greetings, my friends. I am Gilles Mancillon. I come to wish you a good day. We're really in this very powerful transformative process. First, I wanted to thank you so very much for your donations. It's really helping me to navigate the last few days of these last few days in this old cycle. And I'm going to discuss a few ideas. I thank you for not to forget to subscribe, to like, to share, and to comment, and for your donations, of course, for your support. Thank you so very much. So it's not very. I'm going to discuss some ideas, and right now it is. We're really in a powerful transformation point. It was a turning point, the 25th, 26th, and 24. It was the 23. It was this new moon in Leo, and we're really moving into the coming weeks will be very, very powerful, transformative. I was talking about an eclipse on August 2nd that will make the whole world black for a few minutes, but it was a buzz on the internet. But it's actually in 2027. So we have 2 years to get ready for that. I apologize. So do not believe everything you see on the internet. So as far as I know, but for me, it's like just a very personal perspective, and I hope they resonate with you. But it's not so much where we go, because the places are wonderful, but it's who we are, who do we meet in those places. The people in the places is what creates the most dynamism in terms of a place. It's not like if you're a beautiful place, but you're sad and alone, you're not going to be very happy than if you're like in a very banal place with great people having a wonderful time. So it's not really so much where we are, but who we are with, the company we hold, and we always need to be a good company for ourselves. Just as much, it's not really so much what we do, but who we are doing it. How much presence, how much consciousness, how much joy can we bring in what we do? And so they were mentioning that really it's really it may not be our last incarnation in the world of the physical, but for all the light seed, light workers, those who incarnated to awaken and assist humanity, it is the last incarnation where we'll be able to where we will have to suffer or struggle. If we come back into the physicality, there will be no suffering, no struggle, because here we have chosen to transmute a lot of energy from our own soul and from the collective and for the collective soul. So but that is a very small consolation that it is our last life in the struggle, unless we're planning to die tomorrow, maybe. But since we're not planning to die tomorrow, we still want to find our point of freedom and continue to enjoy this life. For this earth has a very long history of civilization with extraterrestrials that will be revealed very soon. There's all kinds of very old civilization. For this planet is an experimental planet of experiment, and it is really the edge of creation, the forefront of consciousness, to become a model for all kinds of other planets in the galaxy. It is like a neutral zone where it fall into the wrong side after the galactic war. It fall into the wrong side of the fence, so to speak, where the darkness had the upper hand, but now the light has regained the upper hand, and so darkness is being pushed out further away, and the light is moving into the light. So it is really the final resolution of the Orion Wars that we're doing here, and so the Orion parameters is really genetic traits that we all have, just as we have the trauma of the reptilian brain that we need to solve. The Orion parameter is a genetic trait that's very well known in the galaxy. It is the desire to conquer. It is the desire to obtain by force. It is kind of a conflictual. It also gives us a sense of adventure, but we do need to balance it out and accept to move into the higher flow and to resolve these parameters. Many higher advanced civilizations has resolved that parameters, like Arcturus, Pleiades, Sirius. Sirius used to be very deeply embedded in this wars. The Orion Wars started in the system of Sirius, and well, not didn't start it, but they were very much a part of it, and the final resolution was the understanding of unconditional love and unconditional forgiveness for ourselves and for others. So it's like there is no hierarchy in the light, but because all is equal, but God still knows where we are and the level of wisdom and consciousness. So there is still higher and lower in the service of the plans. So every little bit of service, every good thought, every positive energy, every good intention is serving the ascension of the planet in equal way. But we will be all positioned and placed within a certain level of in order to serve the plan of the creator, and only God knows how he wants to use it. It's not for us to decide we're going to be on this level, or if we want to stay low, but God wants us to be on top. There's no choice. It's like we're going to be serving because God knows better. We have to accept that whatever comes in from a higher self is through wisdom, and more aligned with that. Because understanding that from a higher plane, spirit sees a lot more about the reality. I've been into those higher planes. I'm not completely integrated within those higher planes because I also need to be here, conscious of all that is going on down here. But when we see from a higher plane, it's like whatever you look at, you have so much more information. You have a complete view of what is going on. It is completely different. So it's like we have to trust that those are guides, and those on the higher planes, or the archangels, or the masters, or even the galactics, have a far more reaching vision. The more you can look into the past, the farther you will be able to look into the future. When full consciousness is knowing where we come from, where we're going, and to be centered in the present, in this alignment. Just expressing my thoughts. It's like, and patience is really the master teacher, what we came to learn here. Because on the higher plane, there is no need for patience, because whatever we think happens right away. But here, it's very, very complicated. And once when we work in 3D from the ego, we don't need, we do need patience, but we can just use by the force of our will. We're going to impose our reality and fight until we get it. But that's not the way it works now. It's just we produce an intention and we align with the energy, and then it comes naturally and gracefully to us. But we're integrating spiritual powers, a lot of spiritual powers. For me, it's been going on for decades, but now it's coming into the physical plane, the physical level. So it's going to be a lot more fun when our spiritual power will be able to affect the physical world. It took a long time to get there, but we're getting there. For life is a great blank canvas. My master guide told me that long time ago. But yet, when our consciousness, it's like everything in life is tainted by what happened in the past. It's like there is already something in the canvas, and on painting there is a saying that we always work on what doesn't work on the painting. If there is an element that works, we try not to touch it. We work on the element that do not work. But you can always make blanks. You can always turn a new page. And it's really what's going on. I'm really eager to see what life will present to me as time goes on in this new experience, new level, new cycle. How well will I do with embracing what's coming to me? It's going to be quite exciting. I am quite excited already. So think positive, because there was a philosopher named Seneca who was very, very powerful, very useful. If you read Seneca, you'll find very practical information to improve the quality of your life. And Seneca, one thing he said is that we suffer a lot more from our imagination than from the truth. It's like the mind has a tendency to always project all kinds of scenarios that are not meant to come into being. But right now we're moving into fourth dimension, so we have to be much more in control of our mind and what we project within the quantum field. It's not easy to be completely free of judgment, but we're working on it. We need to be discerning. And it's really, we're moving into these 2 or 3 weeks of very powerful transformation. If you can, just take a break from the internet, of course from television, but from all the social media and all that, or reduce it to the minimum, not to be like spending a whole day like scrolling through, like I need the information, and so, because that will really anchor this ability to turn back to the center and to reconnect to more of our inner self, to be more connected, to reinforce this inner connection. And just for me, I can't really stop completely the internet. I'm going to continue making videos, and there are certain lines of communication I need to keep open. I can just like be blank for 2 weeks and just say, well, I'm going to ignore no, people are going to think I'm dead. So I still have, but I'm going to probably keep it to a minimum. And also we need to stop listening to the expert on the media channel, all those pretend experts in politics or science or whatever. Most of those people are paid by the system to keep people entrapped in limited beliefs or lies, or to really condition the collective consciousness. Not everybody, but Most of those people are working towards an agenda of control and following the script and the scenario of the deep state, the agenda. So stop believing fake materialistic science as well, or fake spirituality. True spirituality is really what comes from within, from your heart. For it's like doesn't mean that. So trust the source, trust your own heart, and trust the source that you know will not try to deceive you. But understand there is all kinds of things within the absolute truth of scientific beliefs right now are completely fake. They've never seen inside the atom. The electrons go too fast. They've never seen inside. So they pretend all kinds of things about being as many protons as there is electrons. It's a complete falsehood. The Big Bang, this is complete falsity. There is all kinds of things. It's not a criticism once again, but it's like, and it's not really important unless, but I've been shown certain things that I cannot deny that I know will be revealed in due time to the collective consciousness about the nature of the universe and the nature of life. And so, but it's really, we really have to stop believing. There's a lot of people that are trying to bring the truth in the medias and TVs and everything, and they're being suppressed, or they're being called a conspiracy theorist, or but we're moving out of it's easy to see that in the past there was Socrates who tried to enlighten people. He was condemned to death. The Christ tried to bring a higher light. He was condemned to death. There was Giordano Bruno who was condemned to death for saying the earth was round. There was Galileo he had to retract his theory to say that the earth turned around the sun. It's countless examples of people trying to bring a higher truth. And Plato used to say there is nobody that is more hated than somebody who's trying to bring a higher truth. But all of that comes from the age of Pisces. And there was a lot of martyrdom that happened of all the people that were trying to advance consciousness. The matrix didn't really, people were not ready to accept that. But now we move into the age of Aquarius. So do not have fear about bringing whatever. Just don't be brutal and confrontational. Just accept that the ignorance of others and try to find a way to bring a truth that they can accept on the level of their consciousness. But there's a lot of things that we're going to need to discriminate, continue to discriminate, and trust your own intuition or only a source that you really resonate with. And even from within, there can be astral beings that are trying to misinform you. So it's like, I don't want to create confusion, but what feels good, what feels true is usually true. But there can be astral attacks and beings that are trying to project false light into your life, or even on channeling messages. Not many, but sometimes I see messages that's like, sorry man, I'm not gonna buy that. It's like say, well, I'm the Christ, I'm gonna tell you have to do this, or I'm the archangel. I'm sorry, it doesn't resonate with me. So it's like, no matter what presentation, the surface, the facade is, see how it resonates with your heart, filter it in your heart. It's important. For the Creator, it's far greater than anything we can ever dream of. And the more we know about God, the more it's just staggering. And God is eternally serene, but He's eternally agitated. He's in extreme agitation and extreme serenity. For it's like, imagine that right now there are millions of people driving cars all over the place on the planet. There's millions of people flying in planes all over the place. There's millions of people taking buses and trains all over the place. And that is just on the agitation on the physical human beings, but even the electrons and the planets, and that is going on the infinite level. There's agitation, and yet God is eternally serene, because on the physical plane, on the eternal plane, on the terms of the stillness of God makes him eternal, absolute, infinite, in the center of paradise. He will never change, never move from there. But in the universe, his eternity is come about by his mutability, his transmutability. It's because when he dies somewhere, he's reborn somewhere else. When something disappears somewhere, he's appearing somewhere else. So it's very much we have to be completely free of attachment, yet connected to all of that is more and more. But to be very free. And we're seeing right now the crumbling of all the old structures of government. It's inevitable, even like religion, like the Catholic religion, all of it is crumbling down. I'm watching in terms of the government structure. In France, it's a catastrophe. Everything is crumbling down. In America, it's not much better. We're going to realize there is really no need for those big government. But few countries have a system of rulership that will survive the shift because they align with the will of God and serving the will of God. For a lot of government and people that are serving the Black Alliance, the Dark Matrix, many were secretly blackmailed into submission by the Draco Alliance. So they're really trying to find a way. Do not be too severe in judgment to them, because they were trying to protect their secrets or protect their family, or because a lot of them are coming into a system that's already corrupted, but they don't really know how to maneuver it out back to the truth. But the higher light is really making this whole pyramid of control crumbling down like a house of cards. So there is no need to fight against anything. Just sit, just stay serene, stay peaceful, bring joy, bring love, bring consciousness into every situation you can. I'm just think it's the common sense, and it's really the last chance for the dark ones to return to the light and to rebel against their masters. When they do that, the road is going to be very hard and very long for them to return to the light. But I think it's still better than any other alternative to continue to resist and to be self-destruct at the end. So we'll see what happens. Hopefully they're going. A lot of them, I know people I've seen on the astral planes. There are billionaires, celebrity heads of states that are really wanting to come back to the light. Some of them were victim of the systems, and so we'll do what we can to assist them in that process. And so we'll just take it one day at a time. Well, I thank you very much for your attention, for your presence, for your service to the Creator. I thank you for liking, sharing, commenting, subscribing, and I thank you for your donations if you can. We're really getting very, very close to this point of freedom. I'm going to pull some cards, and it's the time of departure, to the depart of living. I haven't really made my luggage, but it's ready, it's close. I can have it done in 20 minutes if necessary, for I do feel there is the time of shift is coming. The higher wisdom is peace. Continue to cultivate this sense of inner peace. Take a breath always. When you're just breathing, we're always. Sometimes I regret to have quitted smoking over months ago because I enjoyed it, but I'm being able to breathe more peacefully, and hopefully I don't know if I'll always be a smoker, even if I never smoke again, because it's still very much present. I've done it for so long, but maybe I will completely free space in my mind. It's not as unpleasant as it used to be. The first few days were really hard. What we need to understand is the soulmates, and there is those deep relationships that are coming aligned, and so just be ready for that. Prepare yourself, align. Deep alignment comes from within first. If you go out to a bar or you seek for a relationship on the internet, you're going to get something, but it's going to be a bargain. Deep relationship, it doesn't mean you can make connection on the internet with a deep soulmate, but the alignment is not always instantaneous. It takes a great deal of alignment inside for the two people to be ready for that deep connection relationship. What we need to do is to understand all that shine. Is the world of the surface is all that shines, the mask of the egos. And there is what's going on deep within and what's going on in the appearance, in the facade of things. And the outcome is the house cleaning. There is still need for a certain house cleaning. We need to continue to clear up our own. To be prepared for completely liberated, letting go of all kinds of old baggages that we still have, beliefs, relationships, or negative self-judgment, or all kinds of things that we no longer need. Well, my friend, I thank you very much. Wish you a wonderful day, and I'll talk to you later. Salat.